GAG Geeks proudly presents GAG on these balls. The following audio may contain language that isn't suitable for a younger audience. The opinions expressed are solely those of the speakers themselves. It may contain spoilers for current sporting events. GAG Geeks makes no claim to ownership of any of the teams, franchises, or various sources discussed. Listener discretion is strongly advised. For today's topics, we will be doing an NFL draft special. Part 1, likely, we will cover the 18 teams that are currently not in the NFL playoffs. We'll only be doing a breakdown on them. We'll see how things go later on. Once everything is properly seated, we'll come back and revisit this. But our draft expert, Tony, wanted to get this going, so we're going to get this show on the road. Check out the QR code on bottom right for YouTube, QR code on the bottom left for Facebook. Make sure to check us out on Anchor, where you can listen to us and everything we do at Growing Geeks on there. With that, we will go to your NFL draft guru and NFL prediction expert, Tony, and the guy who's still here somehow, Brent. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm good. Ready for my Falcons to lose out so we can get a top 5 pick, probably the top pick.
Did I properly introduce you this time to where you
That
are
is.
satisfied with it?
That's a great introduction. I do appreciate that, kind sir. Don't mind me, I'm eating my pretzels.
Like, I am petty, but at the same time, I will give credit where credit is in fact due. I'm not gonna knock you on that. You have been accurate in our NFL predictions, so it is what it is, and I will have to make do with that accordingly. But you wanted to jump into the NFL draft as you have done a large amount of homework done, folks. Like, the stack you showed me is like thick, like double C thick.
42 pages. 42 pages.
That's wow. Okay.
But that's the thing.
The
NFL is like you love your baseball.
Oh yeah.
We can talk baseball, but you're more in depth than I am with everything about baseball. You'll talk about free agency and draft. I just worry about afterwards, like who do we get? All right, good. And I do my research on them. You know ahead of time, college stats, where they were born. I don't do all that.
Yeah,
Football,
I like digging on that. Because MLB, you can get free agents from literally anywhere. You have to keep up with the minor leagues. You got to keep up with college. You got to keep up with free agency and the draft on top of that. I mean, there's a lot going on, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. That's baseball.
That's too much for me.
And advanced analytics, too, is nuts. Trying to get digging down.
Especially because, baseball, you can get them straight out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
That's not happening in football.
No.
You gotta put on some mass to get in there.
Get a grown man body.
Years. You got to do 3 years somewhere before you come.
Yeah.
So give me 3 years to watch them and I'm good.
That being said, I'm going to let you take lead. You're the one who did the homework. You're the one who did the research. How do you want to start, and where do you want to start for NFL draft nitty gritty dig through?
Let's just mention as of right now. We'll take them 5 teams at a time because I think if we try to do all 18 in a row, we need to just concentrate on these 5, then the next 5, then the next 5.
Do you want to list the 18 teams not in the playoffs currently for the folks at home so they can jot it down and keep track of what we have predicted moving in?
Okay, so right now, not counting, I'm going to count trades because a lot of teams have traded their picks. I think we had 2 trades.
We had 2, yes, that you mentioned. The Dolphins got one of them, and then you had
the Jets. The Jets got another one.
Yes, from
it was 3 because the Jaguars got one from the Rams too.
Yeah, but those ones did not qualify in the top 18. We only had 1 in the top 18.
Right. So we'll talk about the standings as of right now. The Jets, the Giants, the Jaguars. Wow, all these. Then it's my favorite team, the Falcons, will bust the asses. Then you got the Dolphins, who got this pick from Houston.
Thank you, Bill O'Brien.
Thank you, dumbass.
Unemployed dumbass.
Then you got the Vikings, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the football team that says they're in Washington, but they actually play in Maryland. the Chargers, your team, the Patriots,
God,
the
we're awful.
Broncos. Hey, we're at 4, so shut it up.
We're not
the
supposed to be in top
Broncos,
15.
the Broncos, the
Panthers.
Panthers, the Dolphins again,
Two in the
the
top
Ra-
15.
the Raiders, the Lions, the 49ers, and the Saints at this time. And I'm still predicting that the Saints and the 49ers will drop out of this list and be replaced with two other teams
You
like
mean
the
the
Eagles
Bears and the
and
Eagles?
the Bears and the Eagles. I predict will take those two spots.
That
What?
being said, that can't actually happen. One team from the NFC East has to make it.
No, no, no. We've had this discussion. These motherfuckers, they
They
might
don't
have
deserve to be there, but they
they
will be
might
there. Call
have
it what it is.
four. They might have 4 wins. They
They still
literally
make the
might
playoffs, though.
winning the division with 4 wins. Oh, why couldn't we be in that division?
We would be in first place in that division.
That's been your division for the last 20 years. So we've had discussion about your crappy ass division too. Dolphins, Bills. Huh.
You forgot the Jets somehow. More talk
Does
about
that
awful.
even does it actually need to be mentioned? Because they were decent in that run for like what 3 years?
Yeah, 4 years. The Mark Sanchez, Darrell Revis, and who was their head coach? What was his name? He faded into obscurity. He was a Belichick disciple. Because I know
Oh,
they had Rex Ryan for a minute, and they had
that's when
somebody
they
else.
had what Scott talking about. Who was that rant he went on the field? Oh, I forgot the rant. But no matter that was your division, so no, we're not talking about this. This is a bad division. So
Look, I've
nah.
always hated the NFC East. Call it what it is.
All right, so let's jump in with
The
the
top
top.
five.
We'll just do the top 5, and then once we finish that, we can immediately go to the next one. So you got the Jets, the Giants, the Jaguars, the Falcons, and the Dolphins.
Do you want to do position by position needs or for the teams or what? Like just
Let's
dress top three or top two?
let's just go over what we know what most of these teams need. Let's just go.
Because we had to break it down for
Hey,
the folks at home. That's why we're doing this.
we
We're not
we
doing this
already
for us.
we already know if a certain quarterback comes out, he's going to be the number one pick,
Trevor
no matter
Lawrence from Clemson.
who is picking number one,
He doesn't even
except for
have to do
maybe
anything for the combine. He doesn't need a pro
nope.
day. He just doesn't have to
He's
do a damn
automatically
interview. He
he's
just
going
like,
to be the number one.
I'm out for the draft. He's in. That's it.
So we already know the top.
Sunshine.
We already know the top 3 squads. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, I love Minshew, but Trevor Lawrence is an upgrade. Call it what it is.
Now you can argue with the Giants that Daniels might be. They might give him another year, so they might go in another direction.
I don't know why you
Unless
would though.
unless he runs and then
Look,
fall
he's
for it.
like. We're still mentioning that. I'm
Dude,
sure
that was
Roberto's loving
hilarious.
that.
It was hilarious.
Sasquatch. But yeah, look, we should just call this what this is. The Giants should not be patient. You are a New York team. Your media is the most scrupulous of any media outlet in the United States of America. You
Even
do not
LA.
have time to sit there and just dawdle. Get rid of Daniel Jones. He's the next coming of Mitchell Trubisky. And if you have a
Ooh.
good quarterback there, you take him.
First of all, timeout.
No,
Timeout.
no, no, no. Daniel Jones
He's
is Mitchell
not as
Trubisky
bad.
2.0.
He's not as bad as Trubisky.
How is
He's
he
not.
better?
Because everybody
Trubisky at least
who
made the
watched
playoffs.
everybody who watched football knew that the Bears taking Trubisky and trading up to get him was a bad idea.
So
Everybody
was
was like,
Daniel
why?
Jones. He wasn't a
Why?
top 15
Why?
player on anybody's radar, and he got
But
picked in a third.
he's still better than Trubisky.
No,
Period. Yes, he
no.
is. Yes, he
Look at the
is.
stats. Pull up their rookie
Just
year stats and talk to me about it.
who's on the
Trubisky
better
did
team?
more.
Who's on the better teams?
I'm sorry.
Trubisky Bears were better than
Yeah.
Jones's Giants, especially with
Yes.
the loss of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. But that's just this year.
So that's
And
what I'm
Trubisky
saying.
finally
They
got
might
benched. So, I mean,
the
it took three
Giants
years,
might
but he got
actually
benched.
take into account all the injury that they had to their star
Didn't
and
Trubisky
give
make
him
the Pro Bowl?
look, we're not going to talk about that because certain players didn't make the Pro Bowl that should have made the Pro Bowl.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to argue that one
So
ever.
no,
But yeah.
we not.
But
So
yeah,
no, we can't
for
just
my
mention.
argument,
We
Daniel
can't throw out
Jones
Pro
is
Bowls.
the next Mitchell Trubisky. Mark it down. I want you to write it
I'll go
down. I want
with
you to
maybe
circle
the
it,
next.
highlight it,
I'll
whatever you got
say
to do.
maybe the next, but he's not Trubisky 2.0.
He's
He's
Trubisky
not.
2.0.
He might be next in
Career
line.
backup quarterback. That is his.
Doesn't matter.
That's his fate.
With the loss of Saquon, you can make the argument the Giants will not take a quarterback. You can make that argument.
Yeah, but what else would they take in the top
Offensive.
three?
Okay, so we've already said that the Jets,
The
with
Jets
all
are
their
taking Trevor
holes,
Lawrence. That's where you start. If
if he
he's
comes
not
out,
available, who are you taking though? If we're just going to do the hypothetical, we're going to
then they
analyze it
go.
down to the nitty
They
gritty.
still take a quarterback.
Justin
They
Fields
go.
at two.
They go Justin Fields. If
Ohio State's quarterback.
if Lawrence does not come out, the Jets take Justin Fields.
I'm sorry, Justin Fields. Sorry for your
They
loss.
have no choice. They don't have a quarterback on that roster.
No,
There's no quarterback in free agency that's going to come there willingly.
no, not a, you could offer him the whole Brinks truck. Ain't
Not
happening.
happening.
No.
So let's just go with the hypothetical situation that Trevor Lawrence comes out.
Okay.
He is now on the Jets.
All right. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna try and. You want to write it down too, just so.
I already have it. I have it typed.
You have it typed too. That's even fancier.
Look at
I
that.
like that.
Look at that. Don't look at my answers though.
I don't want to look at your answers. I ain't gonna copy off you. Damn.
So let's argue about the Giants. We
Where would
already
you
know
go if you're not going quarterback for the Giants? Because Fields is way better than Jones. You cannot argue that
that's
in
true.
your sane mind.
But again, Jones might turn into that game manager. We've already discussed and we've already
They
agreed
don't
that
have a
you do
defense
not.
to game manage.
No. But that team, the Giants, are geared around one thing, and that's offense. They're not geared around defense. You know for a fact you can pick up defense in free agency.
Oh yeah.
All you need is complementary pieces. You don't need world beaters. You just need a solid front seven,
Which they don't have.
which they don't have. But you can still go pick them up.
Yeah.
I have to check their cap status, but I'm pretty sure
They're
way
good on
under
the cap. They traded away a bunch of players. They cut a bunch of players.
So you telling me that
They still have a
with
way overpaid offensive
Saquon,
line though.
with Saquon coming back, knowing that your team is built around Saquon Barkley, right
Who
or
was
wrong?
it's built around Saquon, but he was doing bad anyway. So I mean, it's not
But
like it was built
why is he
well.
doing bad? What do running backs need?
Okay, most running backs need an offensive line. I was gonna make the
So
Barry Sanders argument because that's who he gets compared to all the time, but Barry made
no,
it
look,
work.
Barry is Barry. Barry's Barry. No, it's none of that. So for you to have a good offensive line, you should start drafting good offensive line. If you're deep,
They're
if you're
awful at drafting offensive linemen. Awful.
that's not my fault. I'm just saying what they should do. If
So
you know
where would
your
you go for the
defense,
line though?
I would go offensive tackle.
Left side over right side, right?
Of course.
And you're going to Alabama, I'm assuming, if you're going to pick a
I'm
tackle.
going to Oregon.
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 Who do you
They
have?
have they have studs in
Seawald?
Oregon. Yes.
Okay. What's his first name again?
Just no Pennell.
Justice
It's Pennell. It's Pennell. Penel or AL. Pennell.
Pinal Seawald.
Yes.
Because that kid was a stud when he was a recruit. So I mean, and he's played up to the billing. Even
So
though Pac-12 football is not going to get started for at least another week, I believe.
he
So.
can protect the quarterback. He's strong in run defense. What do you need? Let's do it. Let me hear you again. What do you need if your team is a running team? Look at Georgia in college. Their offensive line is arguably the biggest every single year.
Only behind Bama every year. Which is
that's why they
not
run the ball.
that's not a slight,
That's
by the way.
not
I just want to make sure everyone knows I'm not slighting your
it's
Bulldogs.
300 plus pounds of meat on every arm. So
yeah.
But they're a running team. If you're gonna have a running team first, which is what they are, you need a big offensive line that can block for your running back, that can open up holes. You know as well as I do, for your running game to be successful, they have to bully that defense. Mm. Right?
Okay. So I will agree with the points you're making. However, for this exercise, I want you to jot down at number 2, I have Justin Fields going to the Giants. By the end of the year, the Giants will have had enough of Daniel Jones. They're taking Fields. I mean, if they're dumb, they'll take Trey Lance, but I mean, that's up for
See,
debate.
I can't go by that just because of all the COVID that's been going on. We didn't have the preseason. You didn't have real practices. You just stunted his growth in year two.
It still put up or shut up. It's the NFL. This isn't where you
It doesn't
get
matter.
time to figure it out.
You know
Not
as
in the
well as
New
I do.
York media or in the NFL. It's the big boy leagues. You better get your shit together
If
from day one.
I still
You
think
come
they're gonna
correct.
give this year right here as a bye year for him.
Nah,
It is.
not in the New York media.
Because say you just lost your best weapon. It's not like if we go to LA with the Rams, you lose Aaron Donald on defense, you still got Jalen Ramsey on the backside.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, every single lane on that defensive line is wide open. Aaron Donald is
Right.
the defensive line. Let's just call that what it is.
Right. But still, they're still not going to say, well, okay, well, they're done for the year. No, they still have players that can take over.
Yeah.
You can't say that about the Giants. You lost Saquon. Who are
Because
your wide receivers?
Golden Tate. And then you have Evan Ingram at tight end. I know Tate's over the hill and he's about to become a free agent, so you don't have to
And
start with
thing,
that. Evan Ingram is supposed to be a producing tight end who just has done God
and how
nothing.
bad do they get when you lose a top tier running back? Because no matter how bad Saquon was being this year, he still had to be accounted for.
Can we still say Devontae, though, is doing good in fill-in role? Can we say that he's actually playing okay, considering the lack of line he has?
No,
I feel like that's just you being personal.
I don't care. I'm just surprised he ain't been concussed yet.
All right.
So
I am putting Justin Fields of Ohio State. Quarterbacks always go high. I'm taking him for New York. You have Paul Swald, which is not a bad pick. Good
I'm
football.
just going by if they were smart, what they would do. You got to build your lines. Everything is in the trenches.
All right. So,
Let's
with
go to
number
number 3,
3, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. This is where I see Justin Fields going.
Minshew Mania ending.
Is pretty much, I think the experiment is over. He had his time, and it's shown that he cannot be a capable starter. I still think he can play in the NFL. I just don't think he can be on a team that doesn't have people around him to help him succeed. Because right now, it's who's in Jacksonville that's going to help.
Shark, Laviska Chenault, and Eifert.
Eifert's on the back end of his career, too.
Yeah, the injuries destroyed him. Their running back was supposed to be a big factor this year. The starting running back lost for the year due to COVID.
And see, here we go again.
So, he lost his best weapon early on.
So, I think you got to go back, get young again. Start building that Jacksonville team up.
So, you have...
I got Fields going at 3.
At my number 3, I'm saying they get him some line help. At number 3, I have Sewald. They need a whole O-line revamp, and Sewald is the guy, if you're going to start, that's where you do it. You protect your quarterback's blind side. If you give Minshew more time in the pocket, because if you've been watching the games, he's been running for his damn life every game. And no matter how good you are, running for your damn life every game is not a recipe for success.
Right.
Unless you're like 0-4 Vic, in which case, just don't fumble.
Which he had to do, so.
They had to give other teams a chance. So we have the same 3 players, just taken in different order through the top 3. You have Lawrence, Sewald, and Fields.
I can see the Giants going Fields, and I can see the switch there.
Yeah, because it's the New York media. They are going to pressure the team, be like, look, Jones isn't the answer. I mean, the headline will be the picture of him tripping over his own damn self and getting replaced.
That was so hilarious. Oh, I think that the play wasn't as bad as the butt fumble.
Oh, that was the greatest fucking
But it was funnier. It was funnier.
No.
Yes,
you got rear-ended by your own offensive lineman that caused you to fumble. You ran headfirst into another grown man's ass. That is hilarious.
The butt fumble was by far the most atrocious of the two. It was the most ridiculous.
Because you ran headfirst in a grown lineman's ass.
The funniest one is Daniel Jones sprinting faster than everybody.
In the NFL this year.
Not looking back. Because normally that's when you trip. When you look back, you normally lose your footing. No, he was looking straight. And you saw it in his eyes. You saw, oh shit, and he fell. If that was not, come on now. That was funnier than anything that I have seen. That shit was hilarious.
All right,
Period. Come on.
so we're gonna go to
All right.
your team. So let's see who you have them taking.
All right. So before the year started, I knew for a fact that we needed ends, edge rushers, maybe a cornerback,
And some linebackers.
maybe a linebacker, maybe. I wasn't too concerned about the linebackers because we had two solid ones.
And then you still
And
had Neil holding it down in the safety position.
fuck Neil. We had Debo and we got Aluawan. However you say Aluka Lawar. Mr. Peanut Punch 2.0 because before he got hurt, we were serious. And then we drafted the little young guy, Mikal. He's played extremely well this year. So I'm not too concerned about the linebacker position right now. If I needed a linebacker, I would have went to Penn State to get Mika Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm not too concerned about them now, I either want. Now I know Marlon Davidson we just drafted, and he just got off a COVID list. But with Davidson, he can play either DT defensive tackle, or he can play the edge.
What's his first name, Davidson?
Marlon
Davidson.
from Auburn.
Okay. Ooh,
He
you
can
went
play.
from your rival to your team.
It doesn't matter.
But then again,
It's
Julio played for Alabama and then came for you guys. So.
And so did Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
So that's professional college. I don't care where you play. So with that thought process, I actually would go grab another defensive tackle.
Okay.
Because again, you got to fight in the middle. It's two of them that I really like, but I only feel like one is a top pick.
Okay.
Because of course you can go to Alabama any year to get
at any defensive position.
Any defensive position, any offensive position.
Because I will be going to Bama for my pick.
So of course I know I got an idea who you're gonna pick. But for me, I would have to go to Florida State.
Okay.
Marvin Wilson. Defensive tackle. He's 6'5", 301 pounds, 311 pounds.
He jumped onto the scene because most of the top flight DNs weren't playing, and he's playing out of his mind right now.
He's been doing it for 2 years. The only reason I really watch Florida State is because my brother went to Florida State, and we're always talking trash to each other.
Well, you've had a better end of it for the last couple of years, ever since Winston left.
But he tries to make me a Georgia Tech fan, and that's not happening. I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. So why are you talking to me about Tech? I want you to beat Tech.
Everybody wants to beat Tech.
So
they ran that triple option that was god awful for years.
But then, as I started watching Florida State's decline in their football program, because they're not what they used to be.
No, they used to be an amazing team every single year, top 25 every year.
But watching that defense, he has been by far the brightest spot on that defense each and every game for the last 2 years that I've seen. And I'm thinking that if we can get him, put him next to Grady, and have Marlon swing out to end with Dante on the other end, that'll give us a solid front.
Fowler's on a 1-year deal, though, isn't he?
No, 3.
3-year? Okay.
3. Because we're not going to re-sign Tech. We declined his option, so he's on his last year.
Yeah.
Now he's decent when he's not hurt, but the problem is he's doing his best John Abraham impersonation.
Hurt every year. Abraham was a stud, though. The craziest play I've ever saw was Abraham run down. Wait, no, it wasn't Abraham. It was still your Falcons. It was Julius Peppers chasing down Mike Vick. Yeah, that was the craziest damn thing I've ever seen in my life.
Don't make me.
I'm talking about your team. While we're talking about your team's pick, that's on topic.
Marvin Wilson, I think, put him next to Grady, have that front four with the linebackers that we have. Now, I'm not saying don't get more depth, because I think that's one of our problems too, is we don't have the depth. Our starters are good, but when they go out, the depth that comes in is such a big drop that we get exposed. But I think if you put him on that line, that'll improve our pass rush, which is all we need, because Grady takes up 2. If we get somebody else to take up another 2 and leave our ends, I mean, we showed that during the Vikings game. That's what happened. Tyler Davidson, the other Davidson, not Marlon because he wasn't playing, and Grady were beasting in the middle, which left our ends alone, and they made noise. That also, as you know, your line play improves all cornerback play.
Mm.
Now, we can also swing this pick and go get a safety, but right now, I've always felt you need to build the trenches. That's where we need to go. So that's my pick.
For me, I felt like your D line was solid enough to where you could go in the second round and still snag some talent. So I went to your secondary that is just an absolute shit show, other than Keanu Neal. You don't like him, but
First
advanced
of all,
metrics love him.
first of all,
He's playing out of his mind considering the lack of help he has.
our best defensive player,
Is
cornerback and safety, is AJ Terrell.
who you just got from Clemson.
Period.
And I'm gonna get
He
him
has
some
been
help.
now his first game against Seattle, he got his ass blown out the water.
Oh yeah, he
He
realized
did.
the NFL ain't about scrub life. You better be
But
good.
the adjustments he's made, I'm good. I'm good on that side.
For your Falcons, I'm saying you're going to Alabama, and
Really?
you're to pick up Surtain, Patrick Surtain
Really?
Jr. Corners always rise every year, and there's always one that jumps way up. He's got the name for it, he's got the college credibility for it, and he's got the stats for it. He hasn't had his best year by far, but Surtain will be jumping into the top 10 for a quarterback needy team. Because I don't think this draft is especially loaded. You put him
Yeah.
and Terrell with Keanu, you'll have some more time for your D line to get to the quarterback because those receivers will be covered.
First of all, Keanu might not be coming back next year, so you can just stop all that nonsense.
What are you going to do? Trade him?
I don't care.
bitter Falcons fan. I say you going to Alabama for Sertan. You are saying they're going for Marvin Wilson from Florida
Yep,
State.
defensive tackle, Florida State.
And now on to number 5, the Dolphins pick they got from the Texans. Where do you see them going?
I mean, it's only one way they got to go because they got to give Tua some help. Period. Right or wrong.
They got to get him some help, and I feel like I know where you're going with this, but I'll hear you out.
I think you take the best wide receiver that's come out since Calvin Ridley. I think they go get Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
I
He is a
think
ridiculous speedster.
he, of course, he opted out this season, which you can understand, which is one reason why LSU is so fucking bad this year. They are horrible.
Yeah.
But they did lose 80% of their football team
At least to the draft.
Yeah.
Or coach.
You lost
or like guys just declaring.
Running back, your top quarterback, of course, they lost everybody. So I didn't know why they were still ranked. They shouldn't have been ranked because everybody's new. But that's neither here nor there. I think that the Dolphins go after Jamar Chase because you do need a number one. And watching him play,
because Devontae Parker's not a number one. He's a nice additional piece.
He can be a number 2 or maybe even a slot.
Oh,
Depends on how you want to run the offense.
Parker would be a good slot receiver, but Chase would also be exceptional in the slot.
Jamar, I want people to remember Jamar in his last year during the LSU national title run.
He was beasting Surtain.
Those cornerbacks that chased him, that were supposed to contain him, all got drafted. And he beat all of them.
Except for Surtain. Surtain was not drafted.
Yeah, because he's still playing, but he's going to get drafted.
Oh, yeah.
He beat AJ Terrell in the Clemson game. He got the better of him. I mean, AJ did get him a couple times, but overall, Jamar got him. Alabama, when they played Alabama, didn't matter. It did not matter who they matched up against this man. He still got them. So it's safe to say. Now, we all know rookie wide receivers, they make some noise during certain teams, matching up with certain teams.
Certain teams just know how to draft receivers better than others. You can always look at Pittsburgh as one that always drafts good wide receivers, and then New England is the one that would come to mind as the one that drafts horrible receivers.
Yeah, because y'all just consistently. Don't believe it. So, but this guy, I think day one, when he gets to that field and he gets that playbook in his hand, I think he's going to be a stud day one.
High praise.
But I've seen him play. I'm an SEC guy. I've seen this guy play. He's freaking nasty.
And we are in complete agreement on that pick.
What? All right.
Jamar Chase is way too damn good not to be falling outside the top five. He may have taken a year off, but ain't gonna hurt nothing. His stock is still higher than ever, and then his tape looks even more incredible considering the people he was burning like the year prior all are doing
Everybody.
good things in the NFL and are doing great things in college right now. So it makes his tape look that much better. As long as he keeps, healthy, which we want everybody to stay healthy for this process, his stock is still going to continue to rise or be high. He'll
Now,
be
I will
fine.
say one thing that if somehow my Falcons get rid of Julio, which is a rumor,
They're saying they're keeping him. That is the new official rumor is that
I
Ryan and Julio are staying.
I wouldn't mind either. Because honestly, Julio is getting to that age where now he's hurt a lot.
He's
He's
been
hurt
hurt a lot his
almost
whole career.
every game, every single game. He's not as bad as AJ Green hurt,
No.
but it's always something that he is injured on him. Calvin Ridley has already proved that he can be a number one. If they get rid of Julio, I think the Falcons might take Chase.
You better get some good compensation for Julio. But before we end up
Hey,
on a whole Falcons
hold on a second.
tangent,
I
we're
already
going to
told
come
you
to
it
number
won't.
6. We're going to go to Minnesota because I agree with you on Chase. He's just too NFL ready.
All right, who you think? Now I'm gonna let you go first on this. Throw you for a
For
loop.
yeah, I was going to say because I don't have that incredible of a college repertoire to go off of. I'm just kind of piggybacking here for the most part.
Okay,
Um,
I throw it out there.
because Minnesota is a weird situation where they have a lot of stud
Decent.
players, but not a
They
lot of
don't.
production.
We can agree they don't need a running back.
No, Cook is solid.
They don't need wide receivers.
They need.
Not
Oh,
not
they have
necessarily.
Thielen and Jefferson, so they're still
Yeah,
producing.
yeah.
Cousins is on
Justin
the payroll for
Jefferson,
another 2 years.
which
I would say
this is.
Minnesota trades out if they stay at this spot.
I honestly think I don't know how. At first, they deserve everything they get this year for giving Kirk Cousins that much money. Like Roberto said, they deserve it because it's ridiculous what you did.
They made their bed, now they got to lie in it.
I think they might trade this pick also,
It would be the
just
safest
because
thing to do.
the only person that I can see going up here is maybe another quarterback, maybe, or
And
maybe a
that's if
linebacker.
people believe in Trey Lance.
Yeah,
That is
if
the
they,
big if.
because it's not going to be Kyle Trask. Don't get your hopes up thinking he's going to be top 10.
No.
He might not make first round, so
He could be
that's
bottom
not.
end first round. You do
I can
remember
see.
that
I can see
Belichick
that.
loves SEC quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
Not successfully, but because we got Stidham from Auburn.
so if let's just say Minnesota keeps this pick, I think they go defense.
I say linebacker
I'm thinking defensive edge,
because
like edge.
they don't have Everson Griffin, but they did just trade Nagaku.
The
Yannick
guy,
Nagaku. I think
yeah.
so. His name is just a mouthful. Great player though. I can't say his name to save my life. It's like
See, this
TJ, who's your mama?
is it's it's two ways I think they can go here: edge rusher or linebacker. I can see either one of those.
Because I can't name one of their linebackers who's under the good side of 30.
This is where I think Mika Parsons could go from Penn State,
Because
or maybe uh, Gregory Rousseau, the guy from Miami.
I
But I'm
have
leaning
Mika Parsons
leaning
going the next pick.
to the Bengals.
I am going to the Bengals.
See, I don't think he makes it past Minnesota. If he goes down this far, because a lot of people have him as a top pick, arguably the best in linebacker in the draft. I don't think he makes it past Minnesota. I really think he goes here because their linebacker play is horrible.
So you have Parsons
I would put Mika Parsons there.
so they go linebacker in your mind.
Yeah, I mean because their offense is not a world beater, I still think Cousins is the problem, but you can't do nothing about it. You're stuck with it. So improve your defensive play. Get you a linebacker or a defensive lineman. I think they go linebacker because those are the guys that are responsible for the middle of the field. Technically they're the captains of defense.
Mm.
When they see stuff, they move people around. Tight end come across the middle. Anybody come across the middle, they need to recognize the play.
You
And I
need a
think
new
that's where,
captain of that defense.
yeah. So I'm thinking Micah Parsons will fill that role.
And then I'm saying they need a defensive end over what they have at linebacker.
And who are you going to put?
Marvin Wilson.
Really?
Yep. I have not picked Wilson yet. I see him falling all the way to 6. And you put him at DN there. They got something to work with. Minnesota's been drafting a lot of Florida State players as well.
I don't know about that one. He might not even be top 10 to me.
You had Wilson going to you guys at 4. I
Oh
have him
yeah,
going at
but
6
after
to Minnesota.
he's not getting past us, so no, he's not even on my radar no more.
Agree to
He's
respectfully disagree.
no. Once he's off my radar, I don't. He's already drafted. He's not getting past. Look, he's not getting past the Falcons because we was trying to get Kinlaw last year, and that didn't work out because the fucking 49ers took him.
Yeah, but Kinlaw hasn't done that much this year, so I mean, you're not losing
He
a whole
had
lot.
to.
Yeah.
He had to.
Once he's with Bosa, then that'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right. So you got. He don't get that far down though. Maybe.
I got Parsons I got Wilson at 6, and I'm just gonna say at number 7, I got Parsons going to
Oh
the
really?
Bengals. Yep, I got a linebacker going to the Bengals because that's what this team is missing is a leader of that defense. Burrow looks like he may be the real deal at quarterback, so you need someone to quarterback that defense.
First of all,
Parsons could
first of
be that
all,
guy.
first of all, what do you mean he looked like he may be?
This rest of the season still left to go.
No, he is the real deal. He's been proving that. Put
Rest of
some
the
respect.
season left to
Put some
go.
respect on
Who
his
you
name.
got? Who do
And
you
see,
got?
this again is where I look at how this team is built. Joe Burrow is the man. So what do? You got to protect that man. I think they go offensive line.
Who do you got?
Samuel Cosme from Texas. Offensive tackle. I think they need to make sure they keep Burrow up because this man should not be leading his team in rushing during games. He should not. He can, but I think they're trying to keep him in the pocket, so he needs his protection.
Samuel Cosme, you have going to Cincinnati, and I have Parsons going to Cincinnati. Who do you have as great corners? Who's your list? Who's on your radar?
For cornerbacks?
Yes, sir. Corner or safety?
I don't think I have my safety list out here.
Ooh, wow.
Or it wasn't. No, it wasn't that impressive.
No. But let's say the safety play in college hasn't been what it normally is. So.
It wasn't impressive. So my top cornerback is, you already mentioned, Ms. Surtain from Alabama. That's my top corner. Then we have to go to Virginia Tech. Caleb Farley is a solid corner. He could go top 15. Sean Wade from Ohio State can go top 15.
Who from Ohio State?
Sean Wade. He's 6'1", 194. So, I mean, you haven't seen him play but once. So, I mean. So, but I'm just going off what I've seen.
Based upon your assessment, I'm looking at Dallas. They need a corner. Their secondary is bad.
First of all.
Their O-line is injured all year, and Dak's gone. They still have offensive weapons. I'm not going to get that twisted.
They need everything on defense. They don't just need a
I'm starting with the secondary.
Everything.
And Farley's going to be my guy. I have him going at 8 due to positional needs. Dallas can address the defensive line in free agency because they always do well. But Farley
this is where
secondary for Dallas.
I'm not mad at that one.
It's a positional need. I'm not saying he's the best player available. I'm saying he's the best player to fit what they need right now.
But and for me, I'm always gonna stick by your line is gonna determine your cornerback play.
Because you're old school, you believe in the trenches. I'm new school. I believe in covering your best
Unless
weapons.
it's a Dion or Revis in this draft, you can't hope to put a rookie out there and expect them to do that.
I just need it's better than what I had prior, and I
He
call it a win.
that's not hard. Me, I still think they build that line, and this is where Gregory Rousseau would go from Miami.
Greg Russo, not to be confused
He's
with the Russo brothers who
yeah,
directed
don't do that.
Marvel movies. Russo
Six
from
six,
where's he
Miami.
from?
He's
Miami.
from Miami. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. Now we can assume that he's going to put on maybe 10 more pounds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But his wingspan alone will help him get around any offensive lineman he needs to, and that right there helps your cornerback play. So I wouldn't be mad if they took a cornerback, but I honestly think they can get a cornerback in the second round.
They could. They really could.
Like another guy from Florida State. He used to play for y'all, his son.
Mm. But
You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
but
But I wouldn't be mad if they took Farley, but I still think that if you put him on the island, his adjustment, we don't know what it's gonna be like. It's like, all right, I can only speak on AJ Terrell because I've seen it. His first couple games, he looked like a bust. 100%. And then it kicked in. But you can't say that about all straight out of college players.
no, you really
Some
can't.
some start off their first couple games, they're great. And then they hit that wall. And then they never recover. That's why I'm always like, I believe in building them lines.
Mm. So while we're talking about building lines, I'm gonna go to the Washington football team,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying they're not gonna build a line.
I don't think they're gonna build a line either.
They are gonna go at quarterback.
Quarterback?
Who do they have? They don't believe in Haskins anymore. I'm saying they're going to be the team that goes for Trey Lance. They're going to be the ones that take the dive. If there's a team that's going to draft stupid, the Washington no-name football team will be dumb enough to do it. And you can't
I
argue that.
I
Trey
can't argue
Lance
there.
will be a top 10 player due to the fact Washington has literally nothing at quarterback. Alex Smith, over the hill.
Look,
Haskins, don't believe in him. And Kyle Allen, who? Really?
Ripping. You still got Ripping, don't you?
Rippin
There.
is in Denver.
Oh shit.
Come
I just
on.
like him so bad. I mean, I like it. Uh I don't think they go quarterback. I mean, because I actually think the Washington team, in their opinion, will take the best player available. And in my opinion, even though he's done for the year, is Jalen Waddle from Alabama.
Dude's a stud.
He can play. He's a wide receiver and kick and punt returns. Now, he's hurt. Will he be ready for the draft, for the combine? He should be. It happened early enough in the season.
Yeah. That's a
Will he
good
be
news
ready
for
for
him.
training camp? Yeah, he should be. All the fear, because anybody who knows when you get injured, you always have that fear of re-injuring yourself.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
don't come out full blast. Will he be ready by a training camp if they have one? I think he should be. Will he definitely improve this team? I think he will. What if even if he doesn't play wide receiver, if he strictly punt returns, kick returns, just
Dante
that
Hall
alone,
2.0.
that's what I'm saying, just that alone shows that when you switch field positions, your offense, except for the Bears, should be able to get some points out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they go Waddle. I don't know if Lance goes this high.
I'm saying Lance will go this high because there's always a team that does something stupid in the top 10 because they're like, oh, we need a quarterback. And then they do this. Shout out to Mitchell Trubisky and Mitchell Trubisky 2.0.
Stop it. Stop it.
Daniel Jones should not be
Stop
top
it.
10 quarterbacks.
Should not. And they passed on who to get Trubisky?
Patrick Mahomes. And then who else did they
Imagine.
miss out on?
Oh, shit.
Deshaun
Hold on.
Watson.
Yes, they missed out on Deshaun, from Georgia.
He's from Georgia, but he played for Clemson.
I don't care. He was born and raised in Georgia.
And then he left
But
y'all.
so that's because we had dumbasses who didn't want to run, have quarterback. They want to be a running team.
Yeah.
And Georgia Tech ran a triple option. That's not what he does.
No, that'd be dumb.
So no, he wasn't coming to Georgia.
So, at number 10, I'm going to go to a player you have already picked. I'm saying Herbert looks like the real deal. Austin
I
Eckler
agree
will be
with that.
coming back healthy. And you still have Keenan Allen at receiver. I'm saying they're going to Samuel Cosme from Texas. The Chargers are going to start building that line, build in the trenches to protect their quarterback, their guy.
Hmm.
I like
Okay.
Cosme, and I believe he could be taken higher than this, but if he's available and San Diego doesn't pick him, I'd be shocked. Just absolutely shocked.
That's actually not a bad pick
Because they traded
for.
away Okun earlier this year, and then their O line hasn't looked the same. Their D line's already great, so that's why I'm not trying to go there. And I feel like they
No.
can pick up a good receiver in the second round. This is one of the deeper receiver drafts we've had in a while. Although it's
It
not saying a lot because
is.
last year was loaded as well.
So, oh, my phone was ringing. I don't know nobody calling me. I don't like nobody like that.
Now, ain't nobody know me like that. You call me better every reason. Who do you have going to your charges? Oh, your hat went down.
Oh my! See, that's what's going on. Yeah,
You,
earthquake.
you got ghosts.
Bro, don't say that. I'll leave this place so quick.
You love
I don't
paranormal
play.
movies until it happens to you, and you're like,
I
put
don't
this
play
time
them
out.
games. And
Spooktober.
see, with the Chargers, that's what we don't right.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
We know they're not going wide receiver. We throw them away,
Yeah. What do you mean
right?
you know? I only have Keenan Allen.
I don't think it's another wide receiver that they need to take in the first round. I don't see any other top first round wide receiver that's. I mean,
Because
you could go to Purdue, but would you want to?
that's a bit of a reach right now. He's a great
Exactly.
player. He's a great player, but it's a reach at this point.
So I'm stuck between, you know, how I do offensive lineman or
Because the
a
Chargers need
linebacker.
linemen bad. And they do
They
need
need a they
linebackers bad too. Those are their two weaknesses every year, line and linebacker. They never address them. They're like, I'll be fine. And
so
then it never is.
I'm gonna go with what I think their biggest need is, which is offensive line.
Okay.
I would say Alex Leatherwood from Alabama.
Alabama
6'6",
again.
yeah, 6'6", 300 something pounds. I mean, yeah. I think if you put him on that line to help keep
Herbert
your
upright.
boy upright, I think that's how it's gonna work out.
I mean, he
I
could
think
be
so.
my boy, but at the same time, like, I don't like him like that. And I didn't pick him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Remember, I got stuck with Ruggs, and I flipped him.
Nobody knew he was gonna do this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
I'm happy he's playing well, though. So happy he's playing well. I'm not going to root against the
I
player's
think they go
success.
offensive tackle. I mean, they could go linebacker, but
I don't think there is a stud second linebacker, which is going to help with oh fuck Parsons. Sorry, could help with his resume because he's the true number one linebacker in the draft.
no, you got another one out there. This,
Another Bama backer who just
yeah,
came off an injury list.
yeah. He's not top 10, but
No, because Parsons is ahead of him. Just call it what it
he's
is.
he's top 15.
Oh yeah, he's top 15. So you have Alex Leatherwood from Bama going to the Chargers.
I would,
And then I'll keep leading off then. I'm going to my
because it's your team. That's
New
the only
England
reason it's your
Patriots.
team, Buster.
And I'm going to say we need defensive line help
You do.
bad. And you picked him earlier, but he's still available on mine.
If I picked him, he's not available.
In
That's where
my
he's gonna go.
mind, Greg Rousseau from Miami is still available. You put him and Winovich together, I feel we have something.
You know what?
Just enough
That's
to
scary as
play.
hell.
We need that. Because
That's
like
scary.
our D line play and backer play has been subpar this year, and I mean Hightower skipped out due to COVID, so I mean we are missing our best backer. But still, it's the NFL. I'm not gonna make any excuses for my team. Call it what it is. Our D line play has been And most of our linemen are heading over 30. Taking Rousseau at 11,
Most.
not bad. Because Belichick's not going to pick a receiver because he already got burned by N'Keal Harry. He's not going to do it again.
Let me tell you
So
something.
I got Rousseau.
You want me to tell you what I see y'all doing? I see you trading this pick.
Because we always do. And then somebody picks a great player right where we could have picked.
I see you trading back to like the 20s to pick up a third round pick.
Which would be sad.
I don't think you make this pick. But if
we
you do,
need to make this pick.
But if you do,
because we could trade up with Minnesota if we're desperate and we love somebody. We're the only team that would do that.
This is where the guy that you already picked, I think, would fit on New England.
Don't you dare.
Patrick Surtain.
Our secondary is already great.
Make them better. That's the job. Make them better. Put him opposite Gilmore. Come on, guy.
We have Jones.
So?
JC Jones is playing great.
And how many times do y'all play teams that go 3, 4, 5 wide receiver sets?
Regularly. Very regularly.
So what do you need to defend against? That's like common sense. If
I wouldn't hate the pick, and Belichick loves saving players.
Think about if y'all got to
because they're on the same coaching
think about
tree
if y'all
together.
got to face the Chiefs in the playoffs and how many different sets they run with wide receivers.
And that's not counting Hilaire, and that's not counting Le'Veon, and that's not counting Kelsey, which is just. Yeah.
So, yes, you might have your solid number 1, and you have a solid number 2. Can you go wrong with a number 3?
We still have the McCourties, but yeah, we couldn't go wrong.
The McCourties
are
getting old. They're getting old.
They're over 33. Yes, they're very old.
What happens when a cornerback gets over their 30?
They're safeties now. You transition them to all right, you have more room to run backwards.
Champ Bailey, key thing, he was a great cornerback, but when he got old, hey, go play safety. We still want you on the field.
Yeah, because him and John Lynch as safeties together is no joke.
So, yes, take this Patrick Surtain number 2. Put him on that defense.
So you have Surtain falling a full 7 picks further back than I had him.
It's just on team needs.
Okay.
It's just on what I see.
And then, based upon the team needs that we've addressed, at number 12, I have Waddle. I have him falling due to being injury-prone label now. To Denver, you put him with Sutton, and you put him with CD. It's not CD, the other great receiver that they drafted.
Was it Ruggs?
No, Ruggs went to Oklahoma. We know Ruggs went to Las Vegas. Sorry.
That's right.
And then
CD went to Dallas.
Jerry Jeudy
from Alabama.
Yeah. You add Waddle with Jeudy and Sutton, and then Fant gets healthy. That team can have some weapons, and if you're going to be playing teams like the Chiefs twice a year, you're going to need some weapons to try and keep up.
I'm still not sold on the quarterback though. So
Drew Lock's got a cannon, but I don't think he's going to succeed out there.
Oh. So did Flacco. Flacco had a cannon.
Flacco's still playing, which is still nuts.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's starting for the Jets.
No. He's on the team, but is he really playing?
He's starting.
No. I don't care if he's starting. Watch what he does. Is he really playing, or is he just out there? Come on now.
Quarterback, you have to say they're playing. You can't just dismiss that. But anyway, before we go on another side tangent, who you got going at 12 to Denver?
Actually, this is where I think they need help on their defense.
Okay.
Until Vaughn, even when Vaughn comes back, you're still going to need.
He's on the wrong side, 30.
He is. So let's go Dylan Moses, Alabama.
Oof.
Let me put him on that defense. They now become the strength that they need to help a quarterback like Drew Lock. Right?
That would help.
They helped Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl because Peyton Manning had 144 yards passing in the Super Bowl.
Ducks.
So they helped the Hall of Fame quarterback win his last Super Bowl. So I think if you put Dylan Moses on this defense with Von Miller coming back healthy, they make noise. They make a lot of noise. So there you go.
All right. I will keep leading off because we hit to number 13 with Carolina Panthers.
I'm not even making a pick for them. Damn them. I'm gonna
I
give I'm gonna give them a safety from TCU.
I'm going to offensive line. Give McCaffrey even more help and Bridgewater time to stay in the pocket. I'm going to an offensive lineman you picked from the University of Alabama, Alex Leatherwood.
I'm not
You put
supporting this.
him on Carolina, that team gets immeasurably better because McCaffrey's holes to run through be bigger, and you got more time to protect Bridgewater so he can get the ball out to Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson, who's having a career year, by the way.
I'm not
Anderson's on
supporting
pace
this.
for like 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns, which
I'm
is
not
not
supporting
a
this.
slouch year.
I'm not supporting this.
It makes too much sense.
So I'm going to Oklahoma State University. I'm getting Tyler Wallace. No, I'm kidding. Maybe.
Come on, don't be spiteful. You got to look at it from a non
All
personal
right.
perspective.
This is where I would actually give them Sean Wade from Ohio State, cornerback.
They do need a corner. They
They need
do
a
need a
cornerback.
corner.
You're writing all these down, right? Because
Yep,
my list
I'm
is
writing
starting.
everything down. I'm running
Because
out
you'll
of
type.
room, but I'm still writing them down.
Let me put him. I should have typed this up as I was going, but I'm lazy.
You could just
So
literally
yeah,
write in pen next to it, but I mean,
I am, but I write like a goat. So
oh.
I, I don't even know who I pick up there, but I don't care. It'll come back around.
All right, so Sean Wade, cornerback from the Ohio State University.
From cornerback university.
They are producing corners at an insane
Alarming,
rate.
alarming rate.
I would not hate that pick because Carolina does need a secondary player. But we're going to my in-division team, and unfortunately, I see them making a very smart pick.
No, they won't.
They will be taking a linebacker you've already picked off the board, Dylan Moses. You put him with Van Noy in that secondary. Oof, oof. That linebacking core is getting good.
Hold on, let me find my
Because
linebackers
like
because
if Miami gets, Jamar Chase and Dylan Moses, ooh, you got something there. If Tua time is what it's expected to be, and you can pick a running back in the second round, ooh, you got something. So I'm saying Dylan Moses to Miami. He did
not a
not slip
bad pick.
outside the top 15.
But knowing Miami's history and how they like reaching for players,
They love Alabama products.
I think they go back to back. I think this goes back to back Ohio State picks.
All right, who you got?
I think they take Wyatt Davis. Inside, he's an inside offensive lineman. I think he plays 2 or 3 positions.
So D
From
line.
yeah, 6'4", 313. I mean, I'm not mad at them because Miami's one of them teams that they'll play great. They'll play team ball 1 game, and then the next week they come out and they forget what they're doing.
Mm.
And it's hard to pick teams like that on what they need because again they'll be up, they'll be down, just like the Raiders, up 1 game, down the next. They're like, wait a minute, you just did this,
Mm.
and they come back play a couple games good, then they just forget how to play football.
For
Like the
whatever
Bills
reason.
when the Bills played the Jets, they shouldn't have been down by 10 points. They should have won that game by 30.
Yeah.
Trying to make a stamp in the division, you're down by 10. No, to the Jets who ain't won a game. So, but I think Wyatt Davis might be their pick.
Okay. Wyatt Davis from Ohio State. Now I'm going to go to Sin City, Las Vegas.
Hmm.
I'm saying the Raiders need secondary help. And you already addressed the Ohio State cornerback that should be taken top 15.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to necessarily be this team, but he is a top 15 corner. Sean Wade to the Las Vegas Raiders. They love speedy corners. Ohio State is now becoming cornerback U. It is what it is. He's one of the most talented players in this draft. Unfortunately, he plays corner, so he's not going to get nearly as much love as he's going to get. Him and Sertan will be fighting over that true number 1 spot for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Here's another team that always how should I say, perplexes me on what they should do.
They've been better with Mayock. We'll call that what it is because they
Yes,
got they got
because
they got the running back Josh
Jones,
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. And then they drafted Crosby on the defensive side of the ball. They drafted a good linebacker. They drafted a good corner. They are moving in the right direction.
So with the Raiders, we first need to figure out what they need.
A new head coach. Sorry, Chucky.
I don't like it either. So what I would do, I'm gonna stay on the defense. I'm gonna give him an edge rusher,
Okay.
Carlos Basham Jr. from
Carlos
Wake
Basham.
Forest. 6'5", 275. He might not have eye-popping numbers, but I think the teams that he has played against in college has helped him get ready for the NFL. Will he succeed? Maybe. It depends on what kind of help he gets. If he gets the mentoring that all the rookies need coming in, he should be. His X factor is his willingness to work. That's what's going to happen. That's the thing we always harp on Jadeveon Clowney about. Jadeveon gets into that effort of his. He's like, "No, I'm not doing that this series. I'm gonna just get out there and drop back and do nothing." But when he sets his mind to it, he's actually a pretty good player. And I think that's the thing with this guy, Bashan.
Right. So, yeah, just a quick recap. 13, you had Sean Wade. Who do you have to go in Miami again? I want to make sure I got this down.
Miami was Wyatt Davis.
Wyatt. I couldn't read my
Ohio
own damn
State.
handwriting. I want to make
See,
sure I keep
that's the
this
problem.
accurate. Yeah,
That's the problem I
because
have.
it's Sean Wade, Wyatt Davis, and then Carlos Basham to Las Vegas from Wake Forest.
Yes.
Okay. Because Wyatt Davis is a phenomenal player, and I can't believe I forgot about him until this point in time.
That's why I'm here.
And then if Wyatt Davis is still available on mine, he has to go to Detroit. They need help on the defensive side of the ball. Patricia is a defensive-minded coach, and he might survive this year. He might
But
actually survive.
if they make the playoffs.
No, he just has to have at least a 500 record. You know Detroit will keep a
Okay.
500 coach.
Yeah. He gotta make the playoffs.
Okay. But yeah, Wyatt Davis in Detroit, it makes too much sense. They don't have anybody on the defensive side of the ball that makes me scared about anything. Like
I
Gerard
agree.
Bush might be it. That's it. And he's a linebacker, so
Even though I agree with you on they don't have anybody on defense.
you're gonna have him go running back, aren't you?
I don't know.
Because you're not gonna bench Swift this early.
They can't pick a running back. You can't pick a running back. Even though Adrian Peterson won't be there, Swift, I think, will become the
The
bell cow.
workhorse, yeah. You see him going receiver, tight end, line.
I think they might do a reach for a receiver.
If anyone was gonna go to that Purdue wide receiver you mentioned earlier, it would be
See,
Detroit. I mean, they
I'm
still have
thinking,
Galladay and they still have
I
Amendola.
think Galladay is a solid number one. Amendola's about to disappear into his fairyland, wherever the fuck he came from.
New England.
But I'm I'm kind of torn thinking about how Matt Stafford plays. Either Rondale Moore from Purdue or Devontae Smith from Alabama. Alabama
Smith is gonna fall
receivers,
near the bottom though.
I'm saying Alabama receivers have a history of being good.
Oh yeah, Saban knows how to pick receivers.
So that's why I'm like, either one would fit this system.
Rondell Moore would be better
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
because
go
they need
Rondale Moore.
someone to return the ball as well. Because Moore does it all. He
I
is
think I'm
he's Jamar Chase but less good, and he's Waddle but less good. Like if he came out in a different draft altogether, he would be better off.
yeah, I think he might go higher next year.
So
So I'm gonna go
Rondell Moore
Rondell
going to
Moore.
Detroit. It is a reach, but I can completely see where that's going. That makes a lot of sense. And you know which team needs a wide receiver that I already had penciled in, but
San
you just
Francisco.
got it just out there. Yep, San Francisco needs a wide receiver. You just mentioned him. San Francisco loves speedy weapons. That is how Shanahan builds his offenses. So that being said, Rondell Moore, come on down. We
Hmm.
have to put him in San Francisco because you put him and Debo in with the running backs they already got.
Yeah.
They could be a
Yeah.
problem. I mean, Garoppolo's not a great quarterback, but you put him with these weapons, it will look like he's a much better quarterback than what he is. Garoppolo will always be an average quarterback in my mind. Everyone else be damned. Garoppolo is average.
Hmm.
Whoever puts him in the elite category, shame on you.
And so with this one, I'm gonna stick with wide receiver, and I'm gonna give them Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. He's a great receiver, but I don't have him going in my top 18.
I'm just looking at the team. The
Yeah,
team
the team
overall,
makes sense based on what you got.
they need a receiver. They're solid at running back. Their quarterback play has been up and down, but we can blame that on Garoppolo and injuries, or he's just
Average.
a
He's been
flat
average.
average quarterback. Their defense is solid once all their injuries come back.
Oh, yeah. Because next year will be a different year for San Francisco than this
Yeah,
year.
their defense will be back in the top. So their only real need right now is a wide receiver.
Wide receiver and corner. Because Sherman's
Yeah,
going to be
Sherman.
old by next year. He's still playing great football. I'm not knocking
But
him.
see, that's the thing. Again, with their front seven, their cornerbacks don't have to cover that long. And Sherman is still good at covering for so
They
long.
do need safeties too, because Ward and Jaquiski Tart are also injured all the time. But I don't think there's
Sherman,
a safety that's good enough to do that right now.
nah. My highest rated safety is like near the bottom of the round 9.
Yeah, like
But
30th.
Sherman might push the safety next year.
He'd be a great safety.
They might take wide receiver first, and their second pick might be a cornerback.
That makes sense based on what they need. So Devontae Smith, you have him going to San Francisco. I have Rondell Moore. And then I'm
Yep.
going to go to your Aints, your favorite
Fuck,
team.
fuck. What? Man, don't you trigger me.
Carlos Bashan. I see him dropping to the Saints right here. You keep adding to the Saints defensive line, and it is
Please
going to
stop.
be a nightmare for your
Please
whole
stop.
division.
It's no, my division's already a nightmare because we suck albino monkey enough.
And because the GOAT is in your division.
All right, so my pick
You just
for the
casually went on
Saints.
over that.
Fuck your team. Actually,
You have the Saints drafting the janitor from your high school, knowing how petty
no.
you are.
Knowing what they need, Breeze is final years of his career. I think they go tight end and get Kyle Pitts from Florida.
He's having a ridiculous year for a tight
I
end.
really, I
But I
really
don't see a
think that
tight end
happens.
going this high. I think teams learned their lesson after what happened with TJ Hawkinson.
Nah, Kyle Pitts. I think that's the compliment that Breeze needs. Even if he's not there, he's a good blocker. He's a great pass catcher.
Because
He
this is also
recognizes
where I
things.
had Trey Lance falling to if
To
he
who?
wasn't picking earlier. The Saints.
He's not going to the Saints. They got Tayshaun Hill. Hill is the next quarterback for the Saints.
He shouldn't be.
It doesn't matter. He is.
He's
He
already
already said,
29. You realize that, right?
I don't
Hill is
care.
old as shit.
Hello, do I care who there? No, I'm good. I don't care if he's 56. Let him be the quarterback of the team.
So this just in. You want to be the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints.
Man, we wouldn't win a game.
You get paid, though.
I get
You
paid.
get
We ain't
paid
winning a
well.
game. Oh, don't think we scoring. I'm throwing pick sixes against the Falcons. Hey,
On
AJ,
purpose.
you need some numbers. I got you on my fantasy team. Here.
I don't even know if you're allowed to play fantasy as an NFL player. I wonder if that's like an
I
unwritten rule. Haven't
I
haven't
think
covered
I
that
think
one.
they no they I think they are. I
Hmm.
think they are.
I would draft myself all the time and then lose because I ain't gonna do much.
my God, stop talking.
Call that what it
All right,
is.
so we just did
The
the
top
top
18,
18.
which I feel is like what we should leave it at. We are already an hour and 10 minutes in.
I told you this
With
was
just
gonna be
top
crazy.
18. When we get to the playoff teams, we'll probably have to find a more succinct version, and I won't have to stretch as far because I'll be more prepared. Because literally, Growing Geeks, we threw this. Tony's had the list made. I threw everything off memory, off rip. That is all I had. Luckily for
Then
me, Tony
I
had the
did.
list to cover some of what I was lacking. Because to be honest, I love college football, but it ain't my one true love where I'm
And
gonna
I
have to
will
stay
say
glued to
that
TV.
I did adjust my list as I was going. The more I started thinking about the teams, I was like, you know what? I don't want this person to go there. I think this person needs to go here.
In a perfect world, Trevor Lawrence would not go to any of the top 7, 8, into the top 9 teams. In a perfect world, he'd fall into a situation like Denver, but that's not
Yeah.
how things would work.
Or Washington. Washington will be a
I
good.
don't want him going to Washington. Do you
Why
know how
not?
much his career will be wasted?
They might turn it around. You just don't know.
Maybe. I mean, their D line's great. Terry McLaurin's a true number one receiver, but I mean, other than that, it's been a garbage show. And then they had the sexual allegations against their owner for what happened with the cheerleaders and all that too. So I
He'll
mean,
he'll get off.
there's a lot going wrong there. That
He'll get
team.
also.
They always do. I mean, Kraft got off and he was caught dead to rights. So I mean, call that what it is. Anything else you would like to add for the Grown Geeks GAG on these balls draft edition?
I did have some pictures, but I don't know what I did with them.
More Atlanta Falcons pictures where they're congratulations, you blew another fourth quarter lead.
No, 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 no.
Oh, MJ. So you just announced your number one for the NBA list already.
Number one, what?
All time. You said GOAT right there.
Yes,
All
but he's
right.
not. He's not number one. That's just
You
what I
just
found.
listed him as
It's
the
top
GOAT.
five. No, no, that's the meme that
You
I
just
found.
showed it on
That's
your
top
screen. That's
five.
yours.
No, I'm. You can't make me claim. I'll delete this whole. No, I can't delete this. God damn it!
Yeah, I
Form,
recorded. So it's all me.
formal protest.
Denied.
Formal protest.
Denied.
Informal protest.
Also denied. What do you want, Sheldon? I can't help you.
Leave me alone. All right, that's all.
Bazinga.
That's all I got.
Also, Kaylee Cuoco. God, is she gorgeous.
No,
Just,
she's too thick.
she thick where it counts.
No, she's not. She was a push up.
So nice though.
So
Either
she
way,
got.
before we completely derail the tangent, go check out Harley Quinn. That's a great show. She's a good job as the voice there. I didn't think she'd be good, but after like 2 episodes, you get over it. It's not a big deal. All right, Growny Geeks, thank you for checking out GAG on these balls with your NFL pick expert Tony, the guy who's just recording me. Make sure to check out the group. Make sure to answer your damn questions when you try and get in the group. All you gotta do is scan the QR code, answer the simple questions, we'll let you in. It's that simple. For those of you who keep not answering the questions, you're not gonna get in. I don't care. I'm not digging through your personal Facebooks to figure out all that stuff. None of that. Make sure to check us out on Anchor, where you can listen to their top fives, our gag on these balls, our video game reviews, and we've got so much more content in the works. We have at least 3 new shows that we're working on right now that are going to be amazing. Tony is carrying the top 5 with Sam, Denisha, and David and Will. I have not yet made an appearance on that one, but my movie picks would probably bring everything down. So
It probably would.
it probably would.
I'll
Rotten
say that.
Tomatoes would burn me. Make sure to check out the YouTube QR code on the bottom left so you can see everything I just described. We have a great horror selection, so if you want to have something to look forward to while we're doing the middle of, well, by the time this is loaded, it'll be like the end of October. So, I mean, it could be Halloween. You never know. Thank you
Woo!
for staying tuned. And for that, we are out.